Hi, I'm James from James Does Things, and today I want to give you my top 10 tips for new eBay sellers. I also got a special bonus tip for you at the end, which is I think probably one of the more important ones, so I'll save the best till last. Before we get started, if you think there's any tips in this list that I've missed, leave me a comment and let me know. Let me know what your 10 tips would be, or what you think the best tips for beginners, things you wished you'd known before you started selling on eBay. Okay, tip number 1, think about posting your item or shipping it, whatever you call it. Think about that first, even though it's the last thing you do, because if you think about it hard enough, you may even not bother selling it at all. So, and I have had that in the past. If you've got something like this is pretty heavy. You know, how much is it? This maybe it's 2 kilos, maybe it's 3. You know, there is actually a big difference in price between 2 and 3 kilos. Certainly with my posting options. Yeah, just think about how heavy is your item. Do you have a box to put it in? Is the box strong enough? Have you got packing materials? You know, is it something fragile that's going to get damaged? Okay, tip number 2, clean your item. A brand new item that's dirty will look terrible, and conversely, an old item that's had a really good clean will actually look really good, will look brand new. So it's really worth, if your item is valuable, at least giving it a clean. First. If it's something that's for £5, then maybe don't bother. But if it's for £50, then just give it a quick clean. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to spend a long time on it, but just literally give it a wipe with a cloth or something. If it's got obvious dirt on it or obvious marks that's easy to clean up, then do it, because it can make a big difference in whether people buy it or not, and also whether people even click on your listing versus someone else's listing. If their listing looks better, then your item might never get the click. So that brings me nicely on to tip 3, which is take photos. Take lots of photos, take good photos, preferably in natural light like we've got here now, over there. Failing that, use lights if you can. If you've got sort of just like desk lamps, anything, you can even use mirrors. There's lots of videos on YouTube. I've actually got one which I'll link in the description, but there's lots of ways of doing it. But take lots of photos, and take photos of any damaged bits if there are, or any sort of wear and tear, that kind of thing. Excuse me. Highlight it in the photos, and the more photos the better. But also, when people choose a listing, it's the title and the photo is all they've got to go on, and the price initially. So photos are important. So yeah, take lots of photos. And that brings me nicely on to tip number 4, which is use the eBay photo editing tools that they give you. So rotate your photo. That's a big one. That really annoys me. I don't know, it's just a pet peeve. I hate when I see photos that are on their side. It's so easy to switch them over. So rotate your photos so they're the right way around. Crop them so they make your item look bigger. You don't want kind of random things in the background. And then you can also, if you're feeling really confident, play around with the brightness and the contrast, because you can really make a photo pop and really make it stand out, even if it wasn't that well taken. Also, clean. Just if you're taking pictures with your phone, which most of us do, give your lens a quick wipe. Not with your grubby finger, obviously, but because that can make a big difference too. So yeah, edit your photos. Okay, tip number 5, continuing with the theme of getting people to click on your item, is the title. So the people have only got the photo, the price, and the title to go on. So you get 80 characters to use. Use all of them. I prefer to use most of them for search keywords. You got to try and make it look sensible, but then maybe I use the last sort of word or two to highlight something good about it, just to differentiate my listing between the one, the other listings. Just like say something about its condition, whether it's it's excellent condition or it's low mileage or whatever. Hardly used, just something just to make it a bit extra. But use the letters. Have a look at what other people are doing, and have a look who comes top of the list on eBay. What are they doing? Maybe do something very similar. Okay, tip number 6, on a sort of a continuing theme down the listing as you go when you're making your listing in eBay. Pick your category and your item specifics carefully. So for categories, just pick one category. Pick the closest one. Picking 2 means you get double fees, so definitely don't pick 2. Just pick 1. It's generally not worth picking 2. And with the item specifics that are below the category, fill in as many of those as you can, because they add to the search terms. So when someone types something into eBay looks at those. So definitely fill in as many of those as you can. Okay, tip number 7, condition. Be honest about the condition. Don't say it's new if it's not new. You know, just don't lie, because you might get away with it like 4 times out of 5, but the one time you don't, it's going to cost you big time, because you're going to get negative feedback, you're going to get problems with eBay, and eBay knows, you know, if you've had a dispute and things like that, it's all stored in the eBay backend, and it affects your seller rating. If you do it too much, you can get at the worst case banned, but also you get a lower seller rating, which means you get higher fees, and you also might get restricted in terms of how many listings you can make. So, and it causes a lot of hassle, it causes a lot of stress. I get stressed every time I see items not arrived or any kind of message from people after. I just want to send stuff and not hear back ever, except maybe good feedback in the feedback thing. I don't want messages from people. So yeah, just be honest. It's not, ultimately, if you're doing eBay right, you don't need to lie about stuff, you know, just so don't lie about the condition. Be honest. Okay, on a similar vein, tip number 8 is about the description. Be verbose. Put lots of words in. I always paste the title into the top of the description, and then I have a set formula where I describe kind of what it is, what, you know, and what they're going to get, exactly what they're going to get. If it's something like a bundle of stuff, you know, list out the things like, oh, you're getting a phone, and you're getting a charger, and you're getting a box, but you're not getting any earplugs, blah blah blah. Just so there's no, it kind of eliminates the possibility of, 1, people asking stupid questions, and 2, people saying, oh, I thought I was getting this, I want money off, I want to return it. So just put everything in the listing, and then tell them how you're going to post it, because they'll ask questions, and tell them whether you're going to accept returns or not. So put it all in the description. Put search terms in the description as well, because eBay does look there. So when someone types in, the first place eBay thinks about is the title, but they do weigh in the description as well as the item specifics. So be verbose in your description and honest. Okay, tip number 9, the big question: should you go for auction or buy it now? Depends on how fast you want your money and how much you want. Generally speaking, if you need the money fast, go for an auction. Not always the case, but generally speaking, if you don't care how much money you get and you just want money sooner, then put it in an auction. If you want the maximum amount of money for your item, I would say put it in buy it now and put the price that you want, or put it above the price you want and then accept offers. There are exceptions to that. There is a video on my channel, which I'll also put a link to, where I sold a phone in 20 minutes for the price I wanted. So if you need money fast, generally if you put something in an auction, then you will get the money in that sort of time frame. However, it's not always the case. It depends on the value of the item, really. For something like a phone, if you put it in a 99p in an auction, it will sell, because phones always sell, they're really popular items. Except that if someone doesn't pay, you know, if someone bid on 5 phones, then, you know, and they only wanted 1 phone, then maybe you won't get paid, so you have to do it all again. Obviously with buy it now, if you put your phone £10 below the sort of the going rate for a phone of that type, then you'll get your money faster. You might get your money in 20 minutes like I did. So it's a trade-off, but generally speaking, my rule of thumb is, if it's something I don't really care about the price of, I just want out of my house and I want some money for it, then I put it in an auction. And if it's something that I'm doing, let's say as a business, or it's something I want the maximum amount of money for it, I'm prepared to wait, then I use buy it now. So that's my rule. Okay, now tip 10, while we're on the subject of pricing your items, the best, because it's always a big question what comes up, how do you price your item? You know, how much should I sell this thing for? Use eBay sold listings to see what people want. You can see how many things are selling, how quickly, you know, of your item, and also you can see what it's going for. So just go to, I've done a video, so I'll put that in the description as well, about how to price your items. Basically, you go into eBay, you type the name of the thing you're selling, and it'll show you who else is selling it. But then you can kind of ignore that to an extent, because you can sell anything. You can put a pound coin on sale for £100. You know, it doesn't mean it'll sell for that. So if you scroll down on the left, and click sold items, you'll see what they actually sold for and when they sold, and it's one of the most useful things in eBay, I think, for judging what your price should be and how soon you can expect the money for it. So that's my tip for how you actually price your items and how to get kind of, I'd say, either the most money or the fastest money. So if you want to sell something quickly on a buy it now, then see what everyone else is selling for and just drop it by 10%, something like that. Okay, my last cheeky bonus tip that I didn't tell you about is be friendly with people when you get messages, even if they're potentially angry messages, or even if you think, oh god, I wish they weren't asking this question, complaining that this thing is late, saying it hasn't arrived, blah blah blah. Always be take the emotion out of it, try and be friendly. I always end my emails with kind regards, James, that kind of thing. So just keep it friendly, because it can make a big difference. And don't ignore messages either, because when people buy stuff, you don't know if they're in a big hurry and this thing means nothing to them and they'll forget about it. With some people it matters a huge amount to them and they don't like being treated badly or perceived to be treated badly. So you don't know what the other person's like or what they're capable of, so just be friendly with everyone, as friendly as you can, but be professional and treat people with respect on eBay, and you'll have a good time. Okay, well, I hope you found this list useful. If you did, please leave me a like and consider subscribing for more videos like this. If you think there's anything I missed, like I said, please do leave me a comment, let me know. And also, if if there's other videos you want to see, I have had comments in the past saying, oh, can you do us a video on this, or can you do us a video on that? So please leave me a comment, let me know what you think, what you'd like to see. If I get enough comments, I will do a part 2 to this video, and I'm also doing a more sort of advanced level one for people who are already selling on eBay, maybe or are thinking of doing it as a business. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.